Okay, so this is our scenario, and we want to automate this scenario. Okay, so now what is the first thing we have to do? We have to create the well, step definition. Definitely we have to create, right? So how would you go about creating step definition? Click on this,
And create all.
create all or create step by step. Let's do all because we have one scenario.
Okay.
Create new file, and here I'll say Google search steps. Click OK. All right, my three things are there. I'm going to remove this, remove pending, remove pending. All right, so this you guys know, right, how to do this. I think yesterday's, based on yesterday's, you guys should. Now what I want to do is, now this we're gonna use the capture groups here, because I want to send this value to the actual search. So what I mean by that is, when I go to the Google, that this is my Google page. Ultimately, I want to have that Intellix Software Inc. a software in Columbus, Ohio. I need to fill out this search box with the Intellix Software in Columbus, Ohio, that is specified here. Okay, and when the search result shows up, when I do search, then I should see Intellix Software. This is what I am verifying. So this value also I need to verify on the page. So how do we go about it? Anybody remember? We need, if we want to send this value and type it on the Google page, how do we go about it? First, we have to have a capture group, right?
Yeah.
And where do we go and do the capture group? We go to the step definition here. And how do we create capture groups? There you go. That's a parenthesis. Okay. Then parenthesis here. Okay. And if I do parenthesis here, I need to have an argument. Let me give some search criteria. This is search criteria because this is what I'm searching on.
Yes.
And this one would be search result. I'm just calling it search result. Okay, so I have search criteria and search result, two arguments for two different steps. All right. Now, how do I go and do something further? Right now, we don't have any logic here, but now we will add the logic. So what we will do is, as part of our logic, is we need to, whatever action we are doing on this page, we need to start building out those actions. Now, this is where the definition of page objects. Per page, whatever action you are doing, you need to create an object or create a class and start working through it.
Based on the actions we are doing.
So whatever page you are dealing with on the web. So if you are here, we have only one page, which is Google search page, right? So we will create a Google search class and start defining our actions. So what are our actions? If you are doing this manually, right? Let's work through it. Notepad. So this is remember, this is a manual test case. So tell me the steps. So this is test case, right? So what are our steps? Steps or actions?
Actions for what? For the
For this test case, right? Because you are doing this test case, right? And the actual expected result, right? Okay, so what are my steps here if I am testing and verifying that Intellix software shows up or not?
Go to the URL of Google.
Right? So go to
Go to Google. Yeah.
URL.
Yeah.
I am on Google page. Then what?
Put the search.
Search criteria.
Yeah.
What are search criteria as Intellix software in Columbus? Right? That's your test data.
Yeah.
Okay. And then enter or click on search. Right. Okay. So these are, so I have three actions. right? In your manual steps, logical steps. These are logical steps. We are not talking about anything else. So 3 actions. So typically 1 action is 1 method.
Oh.
Okay, and since you are dealing with the Google page, so this will become your class. Basically, you can name it whatever you want. You can say it Google search page. You can actually do that way. And then you will create 3 different methods. Now, let's talk about what is your test data here. Intellix software in, Ruby Cucumber in Columbus, Ohio, right?
No,
This is your test data for this step.
no, intellect.
No, wait. Second, this is, let me put third. Click on search. I shall see Intellix software in result,
Okay.
right? So this is expected result here, but this is your test data from this side, right? So, and we know this is a search criteria and this is the actual result we want to verify it. So let's start building out. So just pay attention here. Okay, what is that we need to do? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to support folder and let's create a new file. Call it Google search.rb or Google search class.rb. Okay.
Under the support one?
Yeah, everything goes under support.
Okay.
Well, we're not going to worry about
All
organizing
classes.
all the classes. You can technically create basically another folder, create each class. If you have multiple things, you can organize a little bit further. But right now, we will dump everything in the support folder. We are not worrying about how do we go and organize that.
But in the
Okay.
support, all the .rb will be there.
Yeah,
right?
.rb files. Yeah. Well, these are .rbs too, but they are under step definitions because these are step definitions. These are class files we are putting under support folder. These are .rbs. Search this, right? So don't get confused. All RBs. It just classes will be going under support for now.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to define Google search class. Okay. All right. Now what are we saying? Every step will become a method because we have to go to the Google page. Then we have to enter search criteria and enter, click on search. 3 actions, 3 methods. So what methods we will name it? So you can come up with a standard naming convention generally. But I'm going to define it for you. Say visit Google page. Okay, this is my first method. And in this method, that is analogous to this particular action. Okay. My second method, enter search criteria or the enter search, just simplify, right? And my third method is click on search. Now I'm not clicking on search is fine, but I also need to verify result, right? So what I'll do is I'll just say verify search result. Okay, so this is entering, this is verify. Okay, so I have 3 methods here. Okay. Everybody with me? Any question? Online folks?
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a class here with the 3 different methods. It doesn't do anything right now. Now let's see what else we need to do here. Now enter search, but we know we need to send in this value and type it in. So our value needs to come here, basically enter search in some form, right? So what I'm going to define is, I'm going to define a search parameter or criteria argument to this method. Okay, in verify search result, because I know I need to verify something, so Intellix software in the result. Okay, so I'm going to define search result criteria over there. So my two methods take some argument. Okay, search result and search criteria. All right, these are simple methods, right? Without any logic. Now, how do we use this, right? Because this is a class, it has nothing to do with our automation yet. We have not done anything. So what you can do is, so how does it flow? If I run this, execute this, what will happen? So for every step, first it will go to the step definition, it will come here. And so all these steps will be executed. Right? Everybody with me? So what I can do is I can use the logic here to call the methods in the class. So my values will flow here. And then I can actually, using the search criteria, I can basically open the browser, put some additional logic.
So
In the-
value will come from the step definition.
So step definition will have your value, right? This one will have your search criteria and search result. You need to pass those values to your search class, and your class will execute those, use those values and use it into web drivers at the end. So if I come here, I'm just showing you what we are trying to do as a high level. So let's come here. Remember this flow. Values will flow from here to here to your objects. And your object will interact with the water and selenium drivers.
So that means first working code will be there.
Gherkin has to be there. Without that,
Then step definition file will be created.
yep,
That
that
will be compiled and run, it should be fine.
no, yeah, that's correct. Logically, yes. Yes, first you have to do that. This is a day one and day two activity. Remember, in the agile format,
Correct.
you are building these two things out, step definitions and your search feature,
Right.
right? But as the more detail is known for the design, you are building out your Google search class. And then finally, and at this point, you will know as part of the design, you will be participating in the design. So you know what the design looks like, what the fields will be. And so you will add additional logic here on day 3 or day 5, basically. And start running your automation test, basically. As the software becomes available, your automation test should pass at that point. Okay, so, but let's not get into nitty-gritty, what we are building right now.
No, I just want to know the flow, what we need to create first.
Yes,
Then what?
Feature
Then
is
what?
always there, right? Because if you go here, without this, you cannot build your automation test. This has to be there. Then this has to be there. Step definition.
First step definition,
This.
then
Now you are working on this one. Creating this.
Classes.
creating the
classes.
class.
Yep, these are called page object classes.
Okay.
And finally, you will hook up with the water and selenium web driver so that you can input the value.
So right the time it will be page objects. I should have compiled everything, run everything.
Oh, yeah.
fine.
It should run, I mean, it should run. If you write the code properly,
Yeah,
it should run.
passing the
Yes.
parameters
Yep,
and
yep.
everything. When all is good,
Yep,
then go to the water one.
water and that this is one of the last things that you will do. Yep. So right now we are here, we flew from here to here to here. This is we are here.
Creating classes over there.
That's our step here. Okay, this is Ruby page objects.
Hmm.
Okay, so let's see how do we hook that up.
Correct.
Step definition to the page object.
Page
Yeah.
objects, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to the Google search steps. This is my step definition.
Fine.
So how do we create it? So we know how to create new objects. How do you create a new object? No, how do you instantiate a new object? How do you initialize a new object? So
Not new, right?
dot new, right? That's how you create a new instance of an object. Okay, so let me give some name. Google search. I'm just going to call GS. That's my variable. Is equal Google search. Since this is available in your project, so it will recognize it. There is already a class called Google search. Okay, so I did not type in, I just said G00
Yeah,
and it will find your class.
yes.
Now, sometime it doesn't find it depending on your folder structure. You can always include or reference the classes. Okay, but here it's easier. Dot new.
New.
That new.
Okay, so now I have my variable class created, initialized. This is the instance. Now, how I need to, I'm on Google page, right? This is what I'm doing. So what is my method? My method is visit Google page, right? So what I can do is, how do I call the method? GS dot visit Google page, and that's it. This is my method I'm calling. Okay, how about now for this action? I have a method called enter search, which takes a search criteria argument. So I come here and I use that GS dot enter search. Now remember, it takes argument search criteria or whatever,
Something we pass.
right? So we'll send this argument
Yes.
and pass it to the class method,
Yes. Oh, okay.
instance method, right? So this is a instance method, so we'll send it. So this value will be passed to our class. So it will come here, right? Now let's hook up this one as well, verify search results. So GS dot search, verify search result, right? So this is there. And I'll send again this search results argument over there. So now this logic is hooked up till the class. Now, how do I know these values are flowing through? So let's see if we can put something. Let's just put something simple because we don't have additional logic yet. So we'll just say puts visit, puts search criteria, right? And puts search result. Okay, so now I can see, okay, see if I'm getting here or not. Now, how do we test it? Again, go Google search.feature and I'm going to run it and see what happens. If everything is hooked up properly, then you should see those values printed out. Test one, test two. Okay, let's see what it is executing.
It's executing something else.
Yeah, it's
200
executing.
something.
Oh,
So
okay.
200 is the other one.
Let's see why it's executing something else. Okay.
So you can go to the top and do this file.
Yeah. So it's executing demo file,
Some
Google.
other, the
some
Some
other-
other, yeah, it's doing some other.
Let me close these classes
Hmm.
so that it doesn't execute anymore. Okay. So now I have only one open. Mhm.
Land class.
Google search, Google search.
Oh, it is going for the land class.
So it's going to the,
One. Somewhere it's.
the area one,
Yeah, it's running the land area one.
because
The
there was
previous-
a 200, so I thought that.
Yeah, there current file will work. There is current file,
Yeah, it is current file.
is it?
So-
Yeah.
Do I have another thing open? Yeah, this is the only one, right? Run Google search.feature. Okay.
Hmm.
Oh, you know what? Because this class has some additional things, right? So that's what is printing out. See, that's what I was telling you,
Oh,
compiling.
yeah, yeah.
Begin and end. So I'm going to do,
Begin.
yeah, this is a tricky part.
Hmm.
Because it compiles everything. Oh. Demo class. Okay, so I have one demo class somewhere. Yep, this is where I have. Okay. That's where it's coming up.
Just passing the.
Yep. Yeah, so it is sometimes good, but Ruby Cucumber, that's what it happens.
It's better to comment out.
Yep, yep.
And
Any printing, other printing stuff.
printing stuff.
But let's see if it prints the one that we have. Okay, so it did something and let's see if it printed out. Now I see visit
Hmm.
getting printed. I should see other things as well. Let's see here. Oh,
And
here.
IntelliCurve, yeah.
Intake software in Columbus, Ohio and Intellect software.
IntelliCurve, yeah.
So this is coming from this particular class. So
Yeah.
now we hooked up all the way to the class. The remaining part is how do we interact with the browser
Hmm.
and what to do, where these values needs to go. Okay, but this is a typical design for your objects. Typical design means this is how you need to organize create the classes. This is what we are talking about abstraction, right? But this comes based on your steps. What methods you will need? Again, you need to have a little bit understanding of how you plan to do this one and work through it. Okay. Obviously, you need to go to the page. How do you get to it? You don't, unless you have design details, you will not know, right? So you will come to know when you have design, and then you are doing certain actions. That goes based on the design. Okay. Does it make sense?
When you do that.
Yes.
Yes.
So let's do the same example.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna leave this here. I need you to build all 3 steps and hook that up. So we started with the feature file.
Mhm.
We created a Google search page. Then we added the class. And then we hooked up the step definition, created a new object, and then we call the method. And then we call the methods for the class. So these are 3 steps we did. Let's do this so that you will know what challenge you will have and but any question on general understanding. You know the Google search part, right? This part is no brainer.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
Yeah, we know that.
the only part we did today is we
How
hooked
to
up
Get the values.
how
To get the values and hook up it.
hook it up
Yeah,
with the class.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that you guys should be able to do it. I think
let's see.
with some struggle, but it is okay. So I'm gonna leave this one on first.
Okay.
Unless you have any question, let's get to work.
We'll have question when we start doing.
Yes, yes. I'm sure, but feature scenario, you know where to create it, right? Those files. So let's work through it.
Just you have to make it picture
So
one.
first we need to create a
Picture.
section.
You always have feature.
Oh.
Remember that, right?
Picture.
That's everything starts with the feature.
Yes.
Then step definition and then class.
For the class, we have to go support.
Now, for the step definition, what thing we did is we additionally converted capture groups, right? We
Yes.
created a capture group as well.
Yes.
Because when I generated, it did not create capture group, so you have to go and manually create the capture group.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's finish up to that.
Yep, let's finish up to that.
Yeah,
Third last thing would be the class and how do you hook it up?
yes.
Yep. Any question online?
Yeah, let me start.
Yep, start working through it.
It looks like a lot right now, but I know one by one we can do it.
Yep.
The class will go with support. Right? Yes.